Hello guys, welcome back to Exquisite Books. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can record and categorize your expenses. Now for every business, expenses can be different, and expenses also varies according to the nature of your industry, like whether you are operating in IT industry, whether you are a hotel management company or a property dealing company. So the nature of the expense is going to vary from the nature of the business and the industry in which you are operating. But the basic principles, how to record an expense, how to categorize them, remains the same. So I am on my dashboard of QuickBooks Online, and all you have to do is to go to this plus icon, and in the vendors section go to expenses. So this is the screen where we are going to add our expenses. So the first on the top, it is asking me the pay. This means the vendor to whom we are going to pay, and this is the payment account from which account you are going to make the payment. Now whether it is a petty cash payment or whether it is a bank payment or it is a credit card payment, you have to select your account accordingly. So for the sake of this video, let's say that this transaction was charged on our Bank of America checking account, and this is the balance on this account that is going to appear here. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to take some sample bills, and I will show you how to add the pay and the amount and how to categorize it. So let's take a bill. Let's see a bill. For example, let's say we purchased some miscellaneous items, some eatables from Dollar Tree stores. So our pay is going to be Dollar Tree stores, and since it is not already entered into my QuickBooks, so I'm going to add new, and you can mention all of the details as well if you want, but just the name is fine. If you are like purchasing if it is a one-time purchase, so just the name is fine, or if you want to enter any other information about that vendor. So I'll click save, and now the reference number, this it is up to you if you want to add some reference number here. The reference number means the serial number or the invoice number or the bill number. Let's say the store number is this is the phone. Whether there is any invoice number or bill number, there is no such number. But if the bill has like bill number, invoice number or something like that, you can add this as a reference number. And now here the most important part, I'm going to categorize my expense. I have to select that which category this expense belongs to. So and these categories are the one that I already have created in my chart of accounts, which I already have recorded a detailed video how to set your chart of accounts. So these are my chart of accounts, and these are going to be the expenses. All the expenses are written down here. All the expenses are listed down here. So this is not an advertisement communication. Since it is a bill of some eatables, like let's assume that this is some expense we incurred for some office meetings. So I have to select here maybe entertainment, and let's say this is office entertainment. So you can select your category, and you can also add a new account as well if this is an expense that you have not already set on your chart of accounts. So you can select here from the expenses, and you can select the detail type, that which is this expense. You can name it as entertainment meals or whatever. So the description you can add is like office meeting, and the amount is $9. Yes, it is $9. And that's it, we are done with our category as well. And here you can see this is the amount, this is the total of the bill, and I'm going to select save, and now our expense is saved. Now if you see on the bottom of this page, this expense page, here it is mentioned as item details. Now what is the difference? If I click on this, now here you see it is saying product or service, and here it is saying the category. The difference is that all of your expenses, whatever the expenses are, whether it is rent, entertainment, or meals or travel or whatever, they are going to be categorized as your expenses. But the item details is only specific to the inventory, the products or the services that you are selling. If I click on this drop down menu, it will list two items, because these are my inventory items that I already have created in the QuickBooks, and I already have created a video on that. I'll leave a link on the bottom so you can watch if you want. So if I am purchasing these from my vendors, I'm not going to add this on the category details, because these are not my operating or admin expenses. These are my inventory items. I'll make a detailed video on this section as well, but for the time being we are done with our expense. And if I now if I go to my chart of accounts, and if I go to my bank section, this is the bank that we use to pay the bill. Now here you can see that this is the bill, this is the register, this is the register of my checking account, and here it is showing as $9 has been deducted. This is appearing under the payments, and this is deducted from the last opening balance, and this is the new closing balance. So that's how you can enter expenses in your QuickBooks Online. Now it is up to you if you want to add expenses one by one by going to expenses and mentioning all the details and selecting and categorizing it, or the simple thing that you can do is you can go to the register of your checking account or the credit card account, whichever account from which you are paying the bill, and you can directly enter from here the expenses, and this way it is a little more quick and easy. So now I'm going to open a bank statement, and I'll show you how you can enter various expenses in a single shot. So let's see a bank statement. So this is a sample bank statement for August 2024, and let's say that I want to add all of these expenses. So this is also a easy and quick way, so let's get started. So the first expense is Amazon, and let's say this is our office supplies, and it took place on 1st of August 2024. So on the date, I'll select 1st August. I'm not going to add any reference number, and on the pay I'm going to add Amazon as my vendor. And the memo I can write office supplies, and the payment amount is $134, and this account is the category account. I'll see if I have office supplies. I do not have office supplies here, so I can add new. I have to select expense, and let's see if I have supplies here. Supplies and material, and on the name I'll mention office supplies, and my category is set, and I'll just have to press save. So you see the expenses entered. Now let's move on. Let's say on 5th of August this time this is also a vendor, and let's say this is also office supplies. And on the memo I can write maybe batteries, etc., or tools, or whatever you're purchasing for your office. That is 515.22, and I'm going to hit save. You're trying to use that as made inactive. So this is telling me that this account is inactive. Maybe let's go to chart of accounts and see. Chart of accounts, and let's hear office supplies. This is active. I don't know why it is not allowing me. Let's see. Save. Go to the expense again. You register. Now let's try to add it one more time and let's see what it says. eBay account is office supplies, batteries. Now it is saved. I don't know, maybe there was some error, but now it is working. It is fine. I just have to correct the date because that was 5th of August, and 5th of August, save. And when you edit it, it is going to take you in the man expense sheet, in the man expense section of your QuickBooks. If you want to edit it, you can simply select this and select edit. Now it will take you to the expense section where you can add more details if you want about this specific transaction. So that's good. Now let's move forward. On the 6th of August, let's say on 6th of August, that is fuel. I always like to add the vendors because this will help you in the reporting section of your QuickBooks. You can check the detail by vendor section. You can generate detailed reports by selecting the vendor. So this is a good practice to always use the pay name. And account, this is going to be travel expense, and let's say that is I already have created flight travel, local travel, Uber cream. Maybe let's create one more, and this is going to be expense, and this is related to travel, and let's say fuel. On the memo we can write fuel refill, something like that, and it is for $80. Save. And on the next transaction took place on 6th of August, and the pay is JW Hotel, and this is going to be our accommodation or maybe travel. So let's create a one new account for travel, and this time I'm going to make an account for hotel accommodation. Save and close. Hotel stay for meeting. The memo is also useful because if you don't add a memo and you have multiple transactions with the same vendor going on in the same month, then you would not be able to sort out that what was the purpose of this expense. So memo is always a very useful feature, and it costed us $250. And the date, always correctly add the date. 8th of August, no sorry, that was 6th of August, and this is fine now. Save. Now on the next transaction, we took out some money from the ATM, and let's say now this ATM transaction is not going to be treated as an expense because we actually took out some cash from the ATM. Let's say we took out $100 for our petty cash. So now it is not going to be treated as a normal expense. Let me show you how. The date is 10th of August. Sorry, I have to cancel it, and I have to select here transfer. Now what transfer does is that it allows you to share the money between the two accounts. This is the bank register of Bank of America, and I'm using the transfer feature now. So I'm going to add $100 as a payment, and our pay is going to be, and I'm not going to mention any pay here because this is not an expense. What I'm going to tell QuickBooks that to which account this is going to transfer, to which account this money should be transferred, and that is my petty cash because I took $100 from my Bank of America checking account to my petty cash. And let's click save. Now $100 have been transferred to the petty cash, and it has been deducted from the Bank of America checking account. In order to see, you can go to the petty cash account in your chart of accounts and select view register. Now here you will see on 10th of August we have taken out $100. This is appearing under the deposit section. This is not a payment. It will appear as a payment section in Bank of America checking account, but since it is transfer, so this amount has been deposited to our petty cash. So that's how you can cross check things simultaneously as well, to know that you are doing okay. So the next transaction of our expense took place on 11th of August. So back to Bank of America register. This time it is going to be expense, and it took place on 8th of August, and the pay is, let's say this is our pay, and on our account it is going to be an advertisement expense, and I'm going to select as, I already have Google Ads, referral commission, and website ads. Maybe let's add a new, and let's categorize it as other advertising expense. Other advertisement, and I'm going to make it, this is going to be an expense. Yes, it is advertising and promotional, and I'm going to make it as a sub account of advertisement. Save and close. And on the memo you can add a little reference that what is the type of the advertisement expense that incurred editing of our video ads. So you can add the memo as editing of our video ads, and the payment is going to be $150, and the date is 11th of August, and save. We are done with our advertisement. Now let's go to the next. On 12th of August, and our account is going to be hotel accommodation, and you can add the memo. I'm going to leave the memo for now, and $177 on 12th of August, and save. Now let's add another expense, and this time it took place on 13th of August. That is the name of our vendor, and on the account I can say that maybe, let's say, this is some kind of other advertisement that we took services, and this costed us $122.22. Save. The next we have a check. Let's say we paid a check to our vendor, and now I'll show you how you can write check as well. Before we were doing expense and I did one transfer. Now let's do check. So the first you're going to mention the check number, and the pay is going to be the name of the vendor who you are paying. And let's see, we paid our one of the vendor, let's say Auto. And the account, let's say we paid this check for let's say insurance. We paid a vehicle insurance to our vendor, and the payment was $1,200. So that's how you can write the check as well. It is pretty similar to recording the expense. Now moving forward, let's say we have interest to pay. On 16th of August, we paid interest, and we paid interest of 9.33. This is saying me that it is inactive. I think we have two accounts for the interest, and let's reselect it, and now it allows. And this gives the error because if you are using an inactive account in your chart of accounts, because you have the option to make some of the accounts inactive as well. So if you select any account that has been inactive, so it will give you this error. So coming up next, we have expense on 18th of August, and let's say that was OVO Energy. And on the account, and let's suppose that this is a utility bill for maybe gas, $270. Save. And next up we have a grocery bill on 18th of August. This is our vendor and account. I'll mention as, let's say this is some kind of entertainment, maybe guests entertainment, and the payment is going to be $150. Next up, on 21st of August, I have my Tulip Hotel stay. This is going to be part of hotel accommodation. I think it didn't add it up. Tulip Hotel. On the payment, that is $100,000. The date is correct. The next up we have Olva, and let's say this account is, let me see what it can be. Maybe this is an internet recharge. Let's assume it for $280. Next up, on 23rd, I have another ATM withdrawal. So this time it is going to be a transfer. This is going to take place on 23rd of August. The account is going to be petty cash, and this time it is going to be $200. And on the last, I have my credit card payment. So I'll record a different video in which I'll tell you different options to recording your payments for the credit card. So this is it, guys. This is how you can enter different expenses quickly by directly going to the bank register. The other way is that you can go to your vendors section and go to expense, and you can add your expenses. Now if I walk you through the reports, let's see a little reports as well, so that you get the idea how things looks like in the profit and loss report as well. So let's go to the reports and let's go to profit and loss report. Profit and loss, and let's select all dates, run report, and this is how your reports gets prepared. We have a net loss because I haven't entered any sales invoices yet. And now you can go to inside in any account you want. Let's say on the office, I want to check the details of the office supplies. And whenever you hover your mouse, you also see it changes the color, which is a symbol, which is a sign that this is a kind of a link. So if I click on it, now it will take me to the account of this report. Let's say all dates and refresh report. So this is the report. If you remember, we entered two bills of the expenses. One was for Amazon and one was for eBay. So now it is showing me the details. It shows the dates, the transaction type, the name of the vendor. I didn't edit any memo, but you should add a memo whenever you are adding expenses. It is very useful. This is the account, and this is the current account. We are inside the account of supplies, and this is the account from which these transactions are paid, and this is the amount, and this is the total. And you can also switch to classic view as well, because QuickBooks is now giving a modern view of all the reports and the sections, but it also gives you option to view in the classic view. That was the old view, because if you are more friendly with the classic view, you can see your reports in that view as well. So let's check it out. So that's how our classic reports looks like. Pretty much similar, but yeah, a little different, slightly different from how it looks like on the new view, but it's up to you. If you are more familiar with this view, you can also switch the views, and you can switch back to the modern view as well. And it's more like a compact view in the modern report, but anyways, it's up to you. If I go back to the profit and loss section, my profit and loss report, and this is the report. I'll walk you into the more details when we will go through the reporting section of the QuickBooks. But for this video, that is it for now. I do hope you guys liked the video, and thank you for watching.